On this week's World of Saltwater Fishing, I'll be out of Cape May, New Jersey, targeting what many mid-Atlantic to Northeast anglers consider a cold fish. If you know, you know. And if you don't, stay tuned. We're going to tell you all about the tautog.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing. Big fish don't stand a chance.
The tautog or blackfish, the exact nomenclature really depends on what part of the geography that you're fishing out of, is what I like to refer to as a cold fish. Being a South Florida angler, I do a lot of grouper fishing. And I'm listening to these anglers get all excited about dropping down and trying to horse out this fish that looks ironically similar to our parrotfish. And I'm thinking they really don't know the mechanics of getting down and dirty until one day I decided to try that. And I have to tell you, I left without newfound respect for this fish. Yes, they're extremely hard to get a bait to based on their rocky structure. They're very difficult to hook, and once you hook a good sized one, like our grouper fishing, you have to give it everything you're worth to keep them out of the rocks.
So I'm Captain Tom Daffin of Fishing Fever Charters. I've been in business since 2003, and we do a whole bunch of different types of fisheries, anything that Jersey has to offer.
So fast forward to now, Cape May, New Jersey. And one of the noted guides in this area, Captain Tom Daffin, specializes in catching big tautog, and he and I set forth to go ahead and challenge blackfish or tautog up in New Jersey. We boarded Tom Daffin's boat, Fishing Fever, out of Cape May, and it was a really foggy kind of a day. The winds were down, which happened to be very, very good because a lot of precision anchoring has to take place to stay right on top of these spots. So I guess the big challenge initially was just working our way through the fog to get to spots. Now, Tom explained that he has a series of spots that we would start on what he liked to call the inshore spots first, which were basically the Cape May reef system. We would progress to some of Tom's deeper spots where he has gotten very, very lucky with monster blackfish, double-digit blackfish, and some actually breaking 20 pounds.
People feel as though like, oh, well, you know, 6, 8, 10, 12-pound fish, how hard can they really fight? That's why we use super heavy tackle, 60 and 80-pound type tackle for these fish.
And Tom was just dialed into his electronics and running to our first spot. We were now in prime position, looking back at the Simran machine where we saw this structure right underneath us. It was time to go to work catching tautog, the cold fish.
A little crunch. Get the goo going a little bit. You're set.
So we would drop down, had our crabs baited up, and then you would wait, and then you would feel, depending on how they were feeding, a tap, tap, and you give it a little slack. Tap, tap, and basically what you were waiting for was the tautog to pull that rod tip down, then you would come up and set the hook.
There you go. Yeah, keep them coming. I think I got into your fish there.
Oh, I got you?
Yeah, that's all right. But I think you probably got a fish there too. There you go.
There you go. Who got
a little better? You got him. There you go.
All right.
A little nicer size fish there.
And then initially, again, I'm referring back to our grouper fishing down south, you had to give it everything that you had, just in case you had a big fish on that might try to run you down into rocks. And once you got that fish out of that danger zone, then it was just a matter of taking it easy with the fish, relaxing, enjoying the fight until you would see a beautiful blackfish. Well, I say beautiful, I guess it's a relative term. Like I said, it looks like a parrotfish, but there is the cold fish coming up through the water, and either Tom or myself will lift it into the boat, or with the big ones, slipping a net under it. It's really a remarkably cool fishery.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by Penn. Let the battle begin. Mako. You'll find them where the fish are. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Mercury Marine. Go boldly. George, we'll be right back.
With the tog bite beginning to heat up, Tom Daffin's subtle tactics pay off in a big way. I'm fishing in federal waters off Cape May, New Jersey, with the king of tog himself, Captain Tom Daffin.
So when you're fishing alongside the king of tog, which is what I like to refer Tom Daffin as, you pick up fast. You know the subtleties that are involved, but even subtleties have subtleties. And initially, he just started going to town.
Any messing with you?
That one didn't mess around. He like tried to rip the rod out of your hand. A little better fish here.
Yeah, you do. Hey, I'm gonna snap my social media pic for that one. There you go. What we got?
As soon as you throw the bow in the line, they start beating it up real hard.
But that split setup's working. This thing was getting a lot of action.
Yep, absolutely. Probably small keeperish size. No,
A double header. Sea bass. What are you, both sea bass?
Sea bass and a tog.
Oh, there you go.
You got one of each. And that was on one bait.
And he was converting those taps and bites into release fish. It took a while for me to really get in the groove, but I would watch Tom, and I'd watch how he'd hold his rod, and he had some pretty neat tricks. He said, when you feel them pecking at that crab, but they're not aggressively feeding, he says, put the rod out there, give it a little bit of slack, and start slapping the back of the rod. Sometimes he said it telegraphs like a vibration, like that crab might be trying to get away. And he said sometimes it pushes the fish over the edge and draws a more aggressive strike.
Holler if you need help.
That should be all right here.
I want to watch the action. Sort of like grouper fishing back home for me.
I always say that these things are like Jersey's version of a grouper. They really like they're even built the same. There you go.
You net them or you would flip
I'll
them?
lift them right.
All right.
They're decent fish.
Yes, it is. That's a beauty. I got to get a couple of social media pictures of this too.
Yeah,
This is our day and
absolutely,
age.
man.
You just can't fish anymore and do TV shows. You got to do 5,000 different things.
If you're into releasing these fish, the best thing to do is once you hit them, you get them 5, 6, 7 turns off the bottom just to get them away from the wreck. Slow down. Just do a slow, moderate crank and bring the fish up. And that has to do with any type of bottom fish. You're not going to hurt the fish due to barotrauma.
When bottom fish are reeled up from significant depths, they may experience barotrauma. This is when a quick change in pressure causes a fish's swim bladder to expand. When released, a fish with barotrauma will flounder about at the surface and ultimately die. Descending devices are necessary to counter barotrauma. I used a sequelizer to help a fish with barotrauma decompress on its descent back to bottom. A desired release depth can be set on the sequelizer where its clip opens and allows the fish to swim away decompressed. Fortunately, on this trip with Tom Daffin, we were fishing over shallower wrecks where our togs swam straight to bottom minus the aid of a descending device.
So Tom, at this point in time, was definitely covering me with the numbers, and now he had that 7-pounder early in the game, which was putting him as far as the heavy tog of the trip. But Tom's a knockout artist. He goes for big tog, and I knew I still had at least 3/4 of the day left to try to give him a rundown and figure 7-pounder should be pretty easy to beat, especially with a guy like Tom, and especially on the numbers that he's taken us to.
Atlantic City is a short drive from Cape May. We stayed at Resorts Casino Hotel, which is right on the boardwalk. A favorite place of mine, we bring the New Jersey leg of our Saltwater Sportsman National Seminar Series here. Resort's well-appointed accommodations range from premier queen single rooms to Coral Junior Suites with 2 queen rooms, twin bathrooms, and living area. Spread out over 80,000 square feet of casino space or board games and 1,300 slot machines. There are numerous shops, entertainment options, meeting spaces, and dining establishments. Speaking of dining, we were hosted by Resort's famous Capriccio's Italian restaurant. The old world-inspired dining room overlooks the Atlantic Ocean and boardwalk. We enjoyed seafood pasta and filet mignon entrees. The surprise dessert was a homemade souffle. Another favorite stop of ours is the Bass Pro Shops in Atlantic City. One could get immersed within the themed decor of this major attraction. I've been here numerous times and still stroll the aisles in sheer amazement. The store boasts one of the largest selection of outdoors clothing and related goods, and of course, fresh and saltwater fishing tackle. What's more, Bass Pro Shops Atlantic City is a tracker boat center where everything from pontoon boats to nitro bass boats and yes, Mako boats are sold. It's well worth a visit if you're in or near Atlantic City. Make no mistake, Atlantic City is a magical and fun place to visit.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by Simrad, never settle. Rapala holds the world record for world records. Suffolk's always use the best line. Starbright, clean and protect with Starbright. George will be right back.
With Tom Daffin dialed in on the tautog, I soon mastered the touch and got in on the action myself. We're fishing in federal waters offshore at Cape May, New Jersey.
And after watching him, how his rod placement was, how he was finessing these strikes and then hooking up, then I followed suit, made some slight adjustments, and guess what? I was now catching tautog almost as good as Tom Daffin, and it was getting to be quite the enjoyable day.
Seems a little better, you know, nothing big, but not a dink.
And we've got a hold of a, well, there he is.
Little guy.
Let this guy hook both ways and make him look.
Ah, got him suitcased.
Okay. We're picking away, quite the bite. There are a lot of them. And how long do you give each, either rock pile that we're on right now or a wreck before moving on?
Usually give them anywhere from, 25 to 45 minutes, according to how much life is on there. If you feel as though you can get a few better fish out of it, or, if they all seem small, all right, give it, 30, 40 minutes and then move on to the next one.
All right, and he just, broke one off over there, and we got this guy here.
Yep, and broke off a nice one over there on the jig. Just kept digging me right down to the structure. Yeah.
All right, and the little release guy, he's in, and boom, back off to the bottom.
Yep, I'll just grab the leader and lift him right in.
You can stuff that in. All right, let me help you out with this one.
All right, get that guy out of there.
That's nice, Tom.
Perfect.
That is good, too. Slam, but check those teeth. You just want to get a real tight of the dentition, the teeth on those things.
And you look at those teeth and you wonder how could they get a big crab in there, but somehow they do. And and sometimes they just work around it like the skill of a surgeon and get that crab off the hooks. They're masters at that too. So it just goes to the overall skill set of actually fishing for these species.
There you go.
It's a fun species, it really is, and it does take a lot of skill, and you need to be really honed to be successful.
Tautog, also known as blackfish, are highly sought after by mid-Atlantic and New England wreck and bottom fishing anglers. Off New Jersey in particular, they have a cult-like following. A member of the wrasse family, tautog forage on crabs, oysters, mussels, and other shellfish, which they catch and crush with their large canine-like teeth. Best bet, acquire a field or roll your bait over rocks and drop it in nooks and fissures where these fish lurk. If you're not occasionally hanging bottom, your bait isn't where it should be. In artbypasta.com, from Catch to Canvas, rendering.
Catch the canvas, baby.
George, we'll be right back. George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is proudly brought to you by the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are. ACR, the leader in marine safety electronics. Papa's Pilar Artesian Crafted Rum. Never a spectator. VMC, your expert in hooks. Art by Pasta, real life art. Visit artbypasta.com.
So here we go. I'm getting the hang of this and doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm holding my own against Tom, you know, the Tog King over here. And he still has me on numbers, and he still has me with the heavier fish, like a 7-pounder, I think was what we determined to be the heaviest at this point in time. So we both drop back again.
So we're fishing on this one spot here. I hadn't fished it before. All right, let's give it a shot. It's structured, there ought to be some fish there.
And the baits hit bottom, and they're there no longer than, I don't know if we kept them down there for 2 minutes, but he hooks up, and I see that rod bend.
I hooked a good fish, doubled it up, got a few cranks on a fish turn, burned me back down over top of the structure, pow, break it off.
When we're so disappointed about what happened, bam, I get slammed to my rod, and I wind, and now I got this fish charging down to the bottom. I've got a big one on.
Oh, I got a good one here.
Yeah, that's a real one.
Oh, you're gonna get me in. No, he's
Keep 'em
not.
coming nice and easy.
This thing almost had me in the rocks. Grouper style. Have a look. Yeah, oh, beautiful tog. Look at this thing. Oh,
That's a real one. There's
oh, Tom.
nice job, buddy.
Whoa.
There's your double digit, buddy.
Yes, it is. And I'm telling you, you got the spot, so I got to give you credit. You're keeping us busy. That thing had me, I was worried about him, to be totally, brutally honest with you.
I'm gonna say that's a solid 12. Beautiful fish.
All right, Tom, let's go. You're calling the weight. You're good at that, right?
I'm gonna say that's 12.
All right.
That's gonna be my guess.
Got her. How are you? What you weighing in at?
I am wrong. 13 and a half.
I'll take it. 13 and a half.
You got your teenager, man.
Yes, I did. Wow.
Nice. George got bit hard by a fish, was able to turn the fish, and got a beauty out of it.
So I guess out of my 2 tog trips I've done before in my life, my new personal best. What do you know? And we got that fish, couple social media pictures, got the fish down, released it. That gave a big hard kick of the tail, and I watched that 13-pound, 8-ounce tog go right to the bottom. I felt so good because we got our trophy fish on this occasion, and you know what? I'm leading Tom now with big fish. I don't know many people that could do that on his boat. The fishing opportunities off of New Jersey, it rarely disappoints. I've had a number of incredible fishing trips up in here. I enjoy coming here, and to be with Tom Daffin again, to go after tautog, again, or blackfish, depending on how you want to call it, was really a treat because it's something so totally different than what we do down south. Yes, we bottom fish, but to come up here and fish for what I refer to as the cult fish is pretty amazing. And to end up the day that we had with over 30 releases and that beautiful 13.8 pounder, it was exceptional for me.
we really look forward to having more people come down to Cape May to come try out this tog fishery, try all of our fisheries out down here. There's pretty much everything that you ever want to get on a plane and go fishing for out down in South America, Central America, Florida, North Carolina. We have a myriad of fisheries here, anywhere from offshore to inshore, and we just like to see more people come down and give us a try.
If you're a fan of our show, keep up with our adventures by following us on social media. I'm on Instagram at George Poveromo, and on Facebook, go to facebook.com/George.Poveromo. You can also watch your episodes at any time on YouTube at George Poveromo TV. We'll see you on the water.